It's been about a week since Marvel 108 came out, and I didn't want too much time to go by before I commemorated it. I guess I'll just share some of my thoughts. I can't believe that a week ago I was able to walk into a comic book store and see a new EU story there on the shelf. Um, it was amazing, and I guess what made it even better is that the story was great. I got home, I made some time to go back and read Star Wars 50, where sort of the first parts of this continuing story pick up, and I jumped ahead, read a couple of the final issues in the Marvel run, just to kind of soak up that old Marvel feel again. And I had a really weird experience. Unconsciously, I'd actually started 108. When I was done with 107, I just pulled the new one off the pile and started going through, and I had to stop myself a few pages in when I realized, oh my gosh, I've started a new comic. That's how seamlessly the art style, the narrative style flowed. It felt in every way like the old Marvel Star Wars. Thank you to everyone at Lucasfilm Marvel, whoever was involved creatively, in the attention and care you brought to this. Again, this was a half a decade plus in the making. We've been here fighting forever, it feels like, convincing Lucasfilm to give us more EU, and they finally did. And it was everything at least I was looking for. I hope you guys liked it too. I haven't really heard any bad things about it. For those that have read it, please don't share any spoilers. For those that haven't, I hope you get a chance to read it soon. Don't listen to those that are sort of saying things like there's continuity issues, or there really aren't. Again, the love and attention and care that was brought to bear on this story and on the old Marvel Star Wars is so apparent. This really couldn't have gone any better. And again, I remember in February when the announcement was made that this was coming out, folks saying, oh, this isn't the EU I want. This isn't the new story I was looking for. I get that, folks. Someday that stuff will come. But in the meantime, this is what we're getting. And it was great. And like I've argued, I think over a week ago, even if it sucked, I would have been super happy because at least I know more now about the EU, right? It's a further contribution to that lore. But the bonus was that I know more about Valance. I know more about all these characters that were there. And guess what? It was a great story too. And actually, really excitingly in my case, with the exception of this one here, this epic collection, the Newspaper Strips Volume 1, which contains one single comic story that had never been the old sort of like comic strips. There was one story there that had never actually been collected anywhere else. With the exception of this new Marvel 108 is now the first time I've had a chance to buy something with a Legends banner on it. If you're an old guy like me, you got all the old stuff pre-2014, right? You never had a chance to really put your money where your mouth is and prove to Lucasfilm and its licensees that this stuff sells. Finally, with Marvel 108, boy, I bought multiple copies of every variant cover. I want to make it super clear to them that we love this stuff and we are willing to buy. So I'm super glad that I've got Legends banner stuff now on the shelf. So thanks again to everyone involved. I hope you liked it as much as I did. And even if you didn't, right, at least it's more EU. At least we know more about these stories. We've got closed loops on some previous stories, and then we've got just enough seeds planted in 108 for continuing adventures, right? So fingers crossed on 109. Again, this was our victory lap, but the war's not over, right? So we're going to keep fighting. But it just felt really good after all these years to finally be able to sort of enjoy new EU.